Can you picture the scene? It's been a long, hot, humid day. And finally, the day is drawing to a close. Jesus has spent the whole day sitting on a boat just a few yards off the shore. And in front of him on the shoreline has been a huge crowd gathered around, straining to hear his every word. Maybe you and I have been there in the crowd too, watching, listening, wondering what Jesus will say. It's been a big crowd, hasn't it? Looking around, can you see them in your mind? See all the people. There are so many people longing to know Jesus better. Today, Jesus has been telling parables almost all day long. In fact, he's been talking a lot about gardening themes, which sound very familiar to you and me. But now the day is drawing to a close. Evening is coming. And so Jesus says to the crowds, "Go home." And they're ready to go home. They pick up their things. They begin walking away. But I'm curious still, aren't you? What is Jesus going to do next? Listen, he's talking to the disciples. What is he saying to them? It sounds like he's saying, "Let us go to the other side." The other side? Does he mean across the Sea of Galilee? That's 8 miles across. And that's a foreign land there filled with strange people. What's he talking about? But look, the disciples are getting in the boat. They're getting him in there with them. Well, we know at least 4 of them are fishermen. Simon, Andrew, James, and John, they're not afraid to get in this boat. And look, there are other boats. Other people are getting into boats too. Jesus sent them away, but some people are getting into boats. They're going to follow him. Let's follow him. Let's get into one of those boats too and see where he goes. Whew. The sun is sinking lower. It's kind of a bright glare, especially on the water. It's hard to see. But we know what to do, don't we? Let's put on our sunglasses. Many of you who arrived early this morning got sunglasses. It pays to get to church early. And there'll be other surprises in the coming weeks. But now we need our sunglasses because the sun is beginning to sink low in the west, and it's got a kind of a glare. So let's get our sunglasses on. Let's get ready to sail. Whew, it's nice out here on the water, isn't it? It's much quieter without all those people bustling around us. What's Jesus doing? Looks like he's kicking back. He's resting on that back cushion in his boat. Can you hear the oars dipping into the water? That's such a soothing sound. And the sound of the waves gently lapping against the side of our boat. Nice. It's almost like being rocked to sleep. In fact, I think Jesus is falling asleep in his boat. I don't blame him. He must be tired. He's had a long, tiring day of teaching. He must be exhausted. And the sun is sinking lower and lower. It's getting dark. Don't need the glasses so much anymore. In fact, it's getting really dark, surprisingly dark. I think those must be dark storm clouds that have been rolling in that I didn't even see. Oh my goodness, a storm is hitting. The waves are crashing against the sides of the boats. Somebody grab something, a pail or something, start bailing out the boats. We're taking on water. I can't even see the difference between the sea and the sky. It's all blending together. It's like that rainstorm on Tuesday. I can't see where we're going. It's like way back in Genesis before God separated the sea from the sky. It's totally dark and totally chaotic. And Jesus is still sleeping. He's still sleeping. The disciples aren't sleeping. They are panicking. It's straight out of Psalm 107. Some went down to the sea in ships, doing business on the mighty waters. They saw the deeds of the Lord, his wondrous works in the deep. For he commanded and raised the stormy wind, which lifted up the waves of the sea. They mounted up to heaven. They went down to the depths. Their courage melted away in their calamity. They reeled and staggered like drunkards. They were at their wits' end. Then they cried to the Lord in their trouble, and he brought them out of their distress. He made the storm be still, and the waves of the sea were hushed. The disciples must be remembering Psalm 107, because I see them. They're looking at Jesus. They've seen him do amazing things, heal sick people, exorcise demons. What is he doing sleeping now? They're waking him up. Jesus, do you not care that we are perishing? Wake up. How can you sleep at a time like this? We are in danger. Jesus, this was your idea, remember? And we went along with you, far from the safety of the shore. Don't you care about us? Aren't we important enough for you to bother to save us? Jesus, if you really cared about us, you'd be wide awake right now. Why aren't you at the helm, taking control of the ship, steering us through this difficult time? Jesus wakes up. I can see him standing up, high in the boat with the waves rocking like crazy. What is he saying? He's talking to the wind and to the sea. He says, "Peace, be still." And the wind has ceased. There's a dead calm. Just like back in Genesis, Jesus has separated the sea from the sky. We can see the difference now. It's not total chaos anymore. Jesus is now looking at the disciples, at all of us in the boats. What is he saying to us? Peace, be still. Jesus knows there are wind and waves that assail our fragile vessels. There are things that threaten us day and night. There are things that keep us wide awake at night with fear. But those things don't have the last word. They can't paralyze us or control us. They don't have to. Because we're not alone in the boat. We have each other, but we have something even more precious, more powerful. For Jesus is in the boat with us. That's the good news. Jesus, the Son of God, is right here in the boat with us. If we didn't know that, we'd be scared stiff. But with Jesus with us, we can have peace even in the midst of a terrible storm in our lives. For Jesus calmed the storm in the Bible, and he can calm the storm in our lives. Like a life preserver, he can keep us afloat. And because we have Jesus with us, with all of us here in this ship, we can dare to set sail, to go to foreign places, to see all the people around us who don't know what it's like to be on this ship, who don't know that Jesus is here with us. Can you see all the people out beyond our ship? People who perhaps want to be here with us, who want to go sailing with us, with the security of Jesus right here with us, keeping us afloat. As we leave our ship later this morning, let us go out into the world and keep our eyes open for those who long to join us on this journey. Let us see all the people, and then let us dare to encourage them to set sail with us. Amen.